Good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream, and I'm going to do our April the 30th just for today in a meditation. Very excited to be with you today. Let's go ahead and get into the meditation. The title of this meditation, God Does for Us. God Does for Us, April 30th. Ongoing recovery is dependent on our relationship with loving God who cares for us and will do for us what we find impossible to do for ourselves. Now, that comes from the basic text, page 99. How often have we heard it said in meetings that God does for us what we cannot do for ourselves? At times, we may get stuck in our recovery, unable, afraid, or unwilling to make the decisions we know we must make to move forward. Perhaps we are unable to end a relationship that just isn't working. Maybe our job has become a source of too much conflict. Or perhaps we feel we need to find a new sponsor but are afraid to begin the search. Through the grace of our higher power, unexpected change may occur in precisely the area we felt unable to alter. We sometimes allow ourselves to become stuck in the problem instead of moving forward toward the solution. At these times, we often find that our higher power does for us what we cannot do for ourselves. Perhaps our partner decides to end our relationship. We may get fired or laid off, or our sponsor tells us that he or she can no longer work with us, forcing us to look for a new one. Sometimes what occurs in our lives can be frightening, as change often seems. But we also hear that God never closes a door without opening another one. As we move forward with faith, the strength of our higher power is never far from us. Our recovery is strengthened by these things. Just for today, I trust that the God of my understanding will do for me what I cannot do for myself. Beautiful meditation. Let's take a moment of silence, followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So, we're talking about a God who cares for us and will do for us what we find impossible to do for ourselves. God does for us is the title of the meditation. You know, there were several points during the meditation that my mind began to, if you will, wander away from this, process of reading. So as I'm reading, my mind is traveling to different places. And my mind is traveling to, and I think you can relate, right? To the truth of this meditation, to incidents in this meditation that I could actually say God was doing for me what I could not do for myself. And how true that statement is, and how um, things would happen quite naturally, organically. I didn't have to force anything. Usually, someone else's actions are involved, and a door begins to shut, and another one begins to open. And I think for me, I want to pay attention to that process because it's giving us different situations, right? Uh, that this would happen, and someone deciding, I love you, but I love you, but I don't like you, right? I don't want to be in this relationship anymore. And I'm a full grown man, a woman, and I'm deciding I'm done with this relationship. And so we need to start separating our things and move apart from each other, right? Someone decides that, what are you going to do? I mean, jump off of a bridge? Some people have, but why would you do that? A whole human being that you've had the pleasure of engaging for a period of time and working on situations now decides, I don't want to be with you anymore. And enumerate the reasons why. And they're all true. What would you do? I've had moments like that. You mean I'm giving my absolute best and you don't want to be with me? I'm not under what? Is there anything I can do to change your mind? No? Wow. I mean, honestly, what would you do? When I've been in those situations, there was nothing for me to do but make up my mind every day. I was not going to use drugs behind it. I was not going to abuse people behind it. And I was not going to take my life behind it. And I would live and survive this situation, right? Was it easy? Absolutely not. So when that happens and it's involuntary, things are changing, the door is closing. Are we so focused on the door that's closing that we can't see the ones that are opening? I was just talking with my girlfriend and I was telling her, you know what? Okay, so they told you to resign or you're being fired. So you resign and you're done at the end of May. So what are the things you've been working for 40 years since you were a teenager? What is it you want to do with your life now? What are the things that you were focusing on in that, you were like, I'll never have a chance to do that. Maybe you wanted to take karate classes. Maybe you wanted to become a fitness instructor. Maybe you wanted to write a book. Maybe you wanted to start your own business. You want to do on your own what you've been doing for other people. And instead of having to sign the back of the check, you want to sign the front of the check. Okay. So as this huge door that is dealing us a devastating blow is closing, let's turn our attention and our focus to the doors that are opening. Because if we truly believe that God does for us what we cannot do for ourselves, how do we not know that this is possibly God extracting us from a situation that has had an expiration date years ago? And we keep on showing up for it, keep on participating in it, and wondering why everything is so one-sided. It's because the person's heart is removed from the relationship, or the job no longer is suited for you, and you're just holding on to it out of fear. Character defect of fear coming up again. I talked about this yesterday in the meeting. Character defect of fear is causing us to be stagnant, paralyzing fear, which causes us to drop the ball on a lot of things and not even look at the doors that are opening because we're so used to this situation and we know we can cope with it. We're not sure we can cope with the unknown. And so we rather focus on the loss than all of the gains that come with that loss. It's always going to be a flip side to every situation, and maybe even various flip sides for one situation. If I'm talking about employment, ending, I automatically go to entrepreneurship. What things do I want to do? Right? How can I earn a living? How can I earn income? What certificate do I need? What license do I need? I got a girlfriend who is so cool, right? Almost like thing one and thing two. She has a peddler license. And every year around this time, she starts to stock up, her van or her trailer for business. And she drives through neighborhoods that I probably would never drive in, right? She drives through neighborhoods and she thinks about the children, right? The single moms. And she drives into, I just want to cry. She drives into their community with music blasting from a speaker that's mounted up on top of her van or trailer, right? You know those old ice cream trucks that had yellow and white stripes? Well, she has the most beautiful vehicles. Oh, they look far better than yellow and white. They're like, make you think of cotton candy. They make you think of being at the fair. And she drives into these destitute communities with the music blaring. The kids chase after the vehicle to see where she's going to park. They go grab their dollar bills, and she makes money all summer long, hand over foot, because she saw a door close, but she saw a larger one open. She went from limited income to unlimited income. She's a rock star. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because we talk about, MightyStream talks about, and probably you too, so we talk about God doing for us what we cannot do for ourselves. We talk about God never closing a door without opening another one. But in actuality, we're demonstrating our actions are proof of what we actually believe about ourselves and about God, about humanity. The majority of us are living in a very limited lifestyle, a very stagnant lifestyle. Why? Because we have this character defect called fear, and we're afraid of the unknown. We're watching doors close and have no idea that others are opening because we're so focused on the negative. We're so focused on, we're pessimistic instead of optimistic. We're faithless instead of having faith, full of fear instead of being fearless, right? Let's think about it. Let's think about it. I want to dedicate this meditation to my aborted baby by the name of April Renata. In 1985, her life ended because I was fearful of a drug dealer telling me what I could and could not do and what he would do to me if I had my baby. A 16-year-old girl with a 37-year-old drug dealer. I know what it's like to be trafficked. I know what it's like to have someone abusing you sexually day in and day out. And you thinking that this is everything because you're young and you have unlimited finances. You the dope man's girl. When you say jump, people say how high and you're only 16 and they think you 26. I know what it's like to be the mask, not just wear one. I thought I was going to die. I thought I was going to die just from pure self-loathing and depression. What had my life become? The year that I'm graduating. I'm graduating. Do you understand? I'm graduating at 16. You know how smart you have to be to pull that off, right? You're giving the valedictorian speech your senior year, and you're a whole year younger than everyone else. And what they see on the outside is not a young girl that just had a baby sucked out of her belly because she was being threatened with death. That's not what they're seeing. They're seeing the mask that I presented. I did not want to live, and I began to use on a daily basis that year. It was a long time before God could extract me out of that dark hole. But God did it. God did it. And still ended up having a whole nother abortion 4 months later. I guarantee you 1985 was the worst year of my life, right? And so I dedicate this to the memory of my children, both of them. And I'm telling you, I don't know who you are, but I'm telling you, if I can live, if I can survive, if I can look at the door opening instead of the ones closing, I know you can. You can do it. Brother, you can do it. Sister, you can do it. You can do it. God did not bring us to this program simply to leave us. You've got the drugs out of your system. You got the whole future of positive things in front of you, but you have to choose. You have to do this with purpose, because sometimes you're going to beat yourself up and you're going to say, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm not going to do this anymore. You know how many people ended up taking their lives clean? Yeah. So today I'm telling you that I'm that one person that believes in you. I know that you can do it. I trust that the God of your understanding will do for you what you cannot do for yourself. Listen to me say that again. Just for today, I trust that the God of your understanding will do for you what you cannot do for yourself. But you gotta make sure you stick and stay and don't leave before the miracle happens. Family, my name is MightyStream. I love you so much. I want for you to have a beautiful day on purpose. I am already having a beautiful day. It's gonna be the best April 30th that I have ever lived. I want for you to do the same. Talk to you tomorrow.